and thanks for joining us. I'm Bethany Volan, and I'm here with Jacob Fisher, our Senior Strategist for Modern Work and AI. Jacob, you just got back from Infocomm 2026 in Las Vegas, where Microsoft delivered the opening keynote. So, Jacob, set the scene for us. What was this keynote, and why does it matter that a software company is the one opening the biggest pro AV show in the country?
Yeah, I think it matters a lot more than people might think. Infocomm is the biggest Pro AV trade show in America. It's like 28,000 people there, 90 countries. Historically, it's really like a hardware show, typically. Your cameras, your microphones, your displays, all the craft of kind of what makes a room work. And so, who is the person on stage kicking off Microsoft? Who's primarily a software company. Make some hardware, but they're not like the different OEMs there that are showing the hardware they have. So yeah, keynote speaker. If you're not familiar with him, Ilya Bookstein. He runs Teams calling, meetings, devices, which really is like your Teams phones, your Teams rooms, also Teams events and Teams premium. So basically anywhere that Teams is touching like the physical world, and then also some of the advanced meeting features there. So and so he's not coming in there with a hardware story. His whole message is around how the workplace is turning into an AI-driven, agent-driven environment. Microsoft wants to be the front door to all of that, right? With Teams. So I think that says a lot. It's when they give the opening slot to Ilya with a message around this, I think that's really kind of showing like a shift in kind of where the industry is moving. We're a little less featured in this keynote around the hardware on the wall and in the ceiling and what's going into that room, and now we're really talking about what is the intelligence that's running all across that room. And I think that's going to be the thread of everything we talk about for the rest of this.
It's exciting. So, I guess before we get into the specific announcements, give us the big headline. If somebody only remembers one thing from this keynote, what should it be? Where is Microsoft really trying to take all of this?
Yeah, I think if you want to kind of think of the one-liner from it, the phone, the meeting, and the room are all turning into AI surfaces. We're kind of talk about across all three of those here. So it's not just really the hardware that carries the call in the meeting before. They can listen, but they can also understand what's going on, and they can actually do something about it. It can react. The phrase Microsoft keeps using when they're talking about all this, agentic coworkers. That's kind of really the shift we're talking about here. We've had AI in Teams for a while now, obviously, but it's been more reactive, or you chose to interact with it. And really what's changing here is now it's going in and it's really doing some of the work for you, both around like, picking up, the routine calls that are coming in. It's taking notes in your meeting. It's booking the follow-up when people call in. It's catching problems that were there with your room and stuff before you even notice that they're happening. So I think this is really different at a AV show. Is the last 20 years we've really been talking about the meeting room has been the hardware problem. We're trying to find what the right camera is. We're trying to find what the right mic is. Make it simple enough so nobody has to call IT, and that's seamless. So I think we're getting a lot better with that in those rooms. Microsoft's now saying part of the hard part here, especially with hybrid work and AI, is it's not really the boxes on the wall and the hardware that's there anymore. It's the intelligence inside the room and how we're getting that right. So obviously, yeah, that hardware still matters. We still want to focus on that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more about why that's an important piece of this. But now we're really need to think about how the room is like the eyes and the ears for AI, and like how that influences like what the room does and what you get out of it. So Ilya built on kind of the whole keynote around three of those surfaces: one, the phone, two, the meeting, and three, the room itself. And then really looking at how that really scales up. So the number that he showed, that he's done this a few times, where first it was 500,000, then it was 1 million rooms. Now we're looking at 1.5 million active Teams rooms out there right now. So if you look at that growth, that's about 1,000 systems every single day. So when Microsoft turns on these features, that's hitting a lot of spaces. It's not just something that's come to labs. This is like, when they release it in preview or GA, that's something you have available to you, and that's hitting an enormous number of systems. So I mean, I think that's a reason why he was selected for the keynote.
Wow, that is huge. So I guess let's take those one at a time and starting with phone. If you could just walk us through what they announced there and why you keep calling the Teams phone agent the biggest reveal of the keynote.
Yeah, I think big one on the phone side is that the Teams phone agent. I think we're really calling her about the amount of business that this hits. Right, is like everybody has a main phone line, and this is taking it a way to take any of those main phone lines you have if you're using Teams phone and really making that smart, turning it into an AI auto attendant. And the way you do this, it's the same way Microsoft's got these kind of low code ways of building agents itself. Like think of ways to do that for like your main line. You can point it at like an FAQ document, and then it can actually answer and route calls to departments, branches, the whole company, able to handle those based on kind of that information you give you. It's not the old school way of building out that IVR script, and it's like press one to reach sales, press two to reach support, and building those trees and and all that comes along with that each time you make a change. You can make it smart. You can give it a document that it follows. And that's coming soon too. So hitting public preview here just next month in July, and looking at like GA in October. So right around the corner. And then piece of it that they showed some additional parts that coming along with this. A big reaction I got from the room was like the agent to agent handoff that you can do with this. So they did a demo to use their typical Contoso, in this case Contoso Health, where the caller authenticates just once, books an appointment for them, they get passed on the front desk agent, and over to billing where they're just using plain English or not even English. We saw some demos too, where like in the middle of a call, people were switching between English and Spanish, and they could respond in time as they went along. So it really, and the really nice piece about that is it's not just like passing system to system. It's really keeping that context alive as a user. It's one agent doing all of that there, and you can build these different voice agents that hands off to in Cobot Studio that integrate right into your Teams phone system. You don't have to do any custom code or anything like that. The other one that they showed, that's the mainline one, but there's also the Copilot call delegation. You and I know have been using this one for quite a while. We get stuff for like this, so we've been using it for months here in preview. But think of this being able to put this on your own personal line. So in Teams phone, you turn on, it can screen your calls. You can decide if it's just screen outside folks, or just spam calls, people internally, or invoke it. But what's really nice about it is like it answers on your behalf. It gets information. It can book a meeting directly with that person using bookings all for you, just like if you had like someone that handles it for you. And kind of what they tease is that just the first part of it. They're going to be adding more to it, like branch out to other channels like into LinkedIn and other things that they can do. And then there's a few other nice phone features, useful upgrades, multi-alliance now available. You can now do up to 10 for a single user account, and Q's app coming to mobile, which is nice when you're using Q's and able to use that different places. And then really, I think kind of the message kind of taken away from all this is looking at the phone less of like a utility that you have and really like an app platform. It's already on your desk, your headset, your phones, your calling plans, but now you have these voice agents that are kind of natural part of that whole setup that you can do to do these, and less on the whole building manual IVRs and auto attendants and kind of stuff.
It's amazing. Very exciting on the Teams phone side. Let's go to the second surface, so the meeting itself. What is actually changing inside of the Teams meetings experience?
Yeah, I think really the theme here is AI stops being a feature you flip on and that you choose to interact with, and it really becomes part of the meeting itself that you have. Kind of the first one that we've seen, we've been doing this one for a while, is interpretation. To introduce this, we've actually got a little demo of this because we get early. So our friend Brenda helped us do this between English and Spanish translation, but now does consecutive translation. So think of it like you've got a translator in between. The initial interpreter they came up with is great when it's a broadcast meeting like we're doing here, and each person can choose their voice. But now you can use it where it's actually like you need an interpreter between two people, and it can sit and interpret back and forth between two folks and manage that. And also an upgrade to the other one that I mentioned, the simultaneous, where it's kind of interpreting like a webinar like this, now giving each speaker their own distinct voice. So there's a little bit more clarity there when people switch, like say you and I in one like this. Voice tethering has gone GA. So if you're someone that uses like sign language interpreters, it can attribute that to the actual person. I think attribution's a big part of what Microsoft's looking at with meetings and stuff. I think it's really key, especially with your AI summaries and those sorts of things and recaps. So this one will actually uh, attribute that to the people that's speaking in the captions, transcript stuff, not to just the interpreter themselves. And then, Microsoft also released a Teams SDK for third-party agents in your conversation. So actually able to, like in Teams, mention agent that's not just a Microsoft created one. So you're in a channel. In the demo, they showed it was a linear agent, a project tracking tool, and that can hand off directly to GitHub. So you're getting this kind of coordination between agents, not just Microsoft's built-in agents, but third-party ones as well, and they can work together. Then a couple things we've actually got a little preview of this, but folks will be getting if they don't have it, they'll be having it soon. One was the Teams Events app. So if you haven't seen it yet, it replaces the Meet app if you're using that before. The idea really is to give you one app to kind of pull together webinars, town halls, big Teams meetings. Instead of the users needing to understand what the difference is between those, it's just Teams events now, and it guides them through like how to create the kind of event that they want. They don't have to understand what the feature sets of each of those three are, and it gives them templates and management. Is also really nice because not only can you go to all of those if you're someone that sets up a lot of these, but also it'll be like a discovery app. So it's like you're putting your all hands meeting, whatever in there. People will be able to find those and register for stuff within your work. And then, like I mentioned, Teams Events app replaces Meet app. If you're someone like me that used that one a lot and was kind of sad to see it go, we're getting its features back plus some. So the Recap app is coming back. That's what it's going to be called now. It's going to be where all of your recaps are, but new and improved because it will have both the voice recaps of your meetings or multiple meetings. Think of it kind of like a podcast you can listen to in your car about recap all the meetings that you missed the day before. But also a video recap. So if there's like content that's shared, it'll build a short video for you. The controls for your meetings have moved. I think that's one that's been a long time coming. I really like it. It moves the controls more to the middle, and you can drag and drop and customize it. Gets the share button away from the leave button, so you don't accidentally leave or end a meeting on accident like we've seen before. I just saw this one the other day, coming soon, really nice. Monitoring for AI bots that are trying to join your meetings. There's been a lot of different ways that we've tried to block those, some more successful than others. This one works really well, identifies them and puts them in their own section in the lobby where you can choose to remove them. That one's really nice. Saves some kind of whack-a-mole in your large meetings from having to go and kick all those read AI agents out and that sort of thing. And then also, for Microsoft Places, if you're rolling out, a nice one that we've been waiting on for a while is the Wi-Fi checking for your checking into places when you get there just by connecting to Wi-Fi, not having to manually do the check-in process. So lots of fun little announcements.
Those are all so exciting. I'm in particular very excited about all of those announcements. So the third surface we're going to cover is the room itself. This is your wheelhouse, so I want you to give you kind of space to run with it. What is the big device implication coming out of this keynote?
Yeah, I think kind of the phrase to keep in mind is eyes, ears, and a brain in every room. We've got all that, right? We've got the Teams rooms, we've got the cameras, we've got the mics, we've got the compute that's running it all. And Microsoft's kind of trying to reframe that as Teams room is part of this, a bigger part of the whole AI system. If people are going to meet there, we want to make sure they're having a good experience in there, and it's not a reduced experience when they go to the room. So the room is actually listening to you. It can figure out what's happening. It can turn those conversations that you're having in those rooms into outcomes and actions, and really help you through that process. So I think the big headline across all that is facilitator in the room. We probably used facilitator before in your Teams rooms. Now the idea is it can do a whole lot more for you before, during, after your meetings. So it's using the signals that it has there, your cameras, your mics, your sensors to really add value to your rooms. It can do things like it can tell you, like by using the camera when you've got a meeting booked, that the room's over capacity, that you need a bigger one. They can look in there. They can say, it can look in there and say, there's a chair in front of the camera that's blocking you. You're going to want to move this so people can see you. They can tell you beforehand, hey, this room's a mess. Someone had the birthday party in there and left the birthday cake and all the junk. And maybe you want to rebook this room so someone can come and clean it up. Give you a little bit of heads up. On top of that too, if you've used like we've seen the name change a couple times. First it was facilitator and preview, then they called it take notes, I think. But regardless, it is really facilitators running in the background. They're really improving the experience there. So before you had to to tap the take notes button and then scan the QR code to kind of get going. That was a little bit of a barrier, folks. Now you can actually walk in, either tap that or even just say, "Hey, facilitator, take notes," and it will just start. And then it's much easier where you just choose to add yourself to the notes after it gets going. So it's able to just jump in, start having that conversation. I think really makes that nicer. But you can also, when you're talking to it, ask it other things. Ask it, walk me through how to use this room, how to join a Zoom or WebEx meeting. Ask it questions. Ask about the weather. Ask it about adding people to your meeting. Really kind of ambient there before you start the meeting. And then during the meeting, you're able to see it as it takes notes and everything, all the good stuff you get with facilitator, but actually able to see that during the meeting as it goes. And then to make sure that everything the room is doing there and the information gathering stuff is clear. I think that's a big part of what we're kind of talking about here is the clear signals and accurate information. They talked about the express enrollment, so that voice enrollment piece is really important. We had a whole webinar on that earlier if you missed it. But really to reduce that barrier also to people to get their voice profile set up so it knows who's speaking in the room. So it knows when you and I are sitting there, it's Jacob said this, Bethany said this, not conference room A said this, and our context isn't very good. Face enrollment, what will come after that. So that'll make that even better because the piece that comes along with that is in Teleframe now, they showed a bit of this. If it sees Jacob and Bethany are sitting in the room, it will show us both in the roster, but you can actually click on us on the video feed and it will show a little contact card pop up to say, this is Jacob, this is Bethany. And I think kind of overall, kind of a cool thing they announced is they've announced long-term training and certification is now directly partnered with Avixa. So I really think that's kind of showing that they're investing even more in the people and channels that make this whole thing work. And then I think really kind of the big shift, if you really want to think about it, is think of the room now. It's a sensor platform for all of this to make those meetings better. What we'll even see is it able to do kind of repairs of your rooms as well. So during the nightly maintenance window, able to go and actually do these tests of your room and make fixes. So I think you can really focus on the standard issues it might be, and not just the small little things, trouble tickets and stuff, and really let you focus on what's important.
Very cool. Lots of incredible changes being made. So let's go ahead and pull it all together. So if you would step back for me, where is this whole vision actually heading? And what should somebody watching do about it?
I think I'll kind of take it down to 4 takeaways and then 3 things I think you should do. Takeaway 1, the phone, the meeting, the room, we're all kind of seeing this merge into a single AI layer for Microsoft with Teams and Copilot. So kind of think of it, it's one system where we have these, different physical spaces feeding context into the software that we can act on. So 2, the room is a data platform now. So the device choice carries kind of a data question. Instead of just an AV one, you're thinking are they capable of really accurately doing that voice attribution and recognition and framing of people and the data that comes along with that. Also 3, all the stuff that I'm showing here is coming to some hardware you already have. So this is really looking at, it's not just, oh, that was a nice demo from earlier. This is something we have now, or it's right around the corner. And then the bar for what counts as like a working room has gone up as well. So we're looking at we're not just looking like, does this camera work? Does it capture clearly? It's like there's also again the data layer. Who's talking? Is this room able to capture accurate action items? Do the follow up? Is it getting all the good signals and able to work with these systems? So that's another piece we're going to have to think about as we go through and do these designs. So yeah, three things to do. Get your rooms and your device health data in shape. Again, your room is a sensor. You want clean data coming off it. You want really to make accurate, kind of take account of where your hardware is right now. Second, that Teams phone agent is right around the corner. I'd say it's a good time to start demoing and testing that to see how that can work in your environment and maybe replace the complex IVR you have and where it could fit in there. And then the third, kind of get ahead of kind of the government's part of this if we haven't already with this cloud AI piece, especially like the attribution part we're talking about and stuff. So I think that's really important to have in place. But depending on where you are, security, identity folks, you want to bring into them to kind of talk through this and make sure you're prepared.
Awesome. Great tips. Jacob, this was a great breakdown. Thank you so much. Any last thought that you would like to leave people with?
I mean, just recap the meeting room. It's really quietly turning into one of the most interesting places in enterprise AI this year. I think just because of some of the stuff that we're talking about, calls you make on your devices in your rooms over the next few months are going to it's going to matter even more than what you're used to. You really want to be deliberate about them now. And well, you've still got room ahead of you as you kind of plan for these features as they come out.
Great call. Makes sense. Well said. So if you want help making sense of any of this for your own environment, figuring out which rooms are ready, maybe which devices to standardize on, or how to pilot the phone agent, please reach out to our team at Unified Communications. It's what we do every day. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, everybody.